وصحبه أجمعين. A lot of us, we claim that we are busy. And it's true, we are busy with school, with work, with everything that we participate in, that we partake in. But we also hear about CEOs, we hear about all of these people, even community leaders, even our ulama, our shuyukh, that are quote unquote busy. And no doubt it's true. If you're a husband, if you're a father, you are most definitely busy. But no one was more busy than the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, first and foremost, he was the Prophet and he received revelation. And we know that when he received revelation, it was something that was extremely heavy. That even on the coldest day, he would sweat because of how heavy revelation was. When he was on the camel, on Qaswa, on his camel, when he received revelation, the camel would kneel down. Qaswa would kneel down because of how heavy revelation was. Even in one narration, he was resting his head on Aisha, and he received revelation, and Aisha mentioned that she felt that her leg was about to break because of how heavy revelation was. So the Prophet ﷺ, he received revelation. He spread da'wah. He was a husband. He was a father. He was a military commander. He was all of the above, and yet when we listen, when we read about his seerah, it was as if he had time for everything. He had time for his family. He had time for his friends. He had time to pray at night until his feet would swell up. He had time for all of these things. And we wonder how, we wonder why. We wonder how he's able to do all of these things. And of course, no doubt it's from the barakah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put in his time. But one thing that I want to mention that I truly believe is one of the qualities that the Prophet ﷺ has that allows him for all of this barakah is his presence, his ability to be in the present moment, his ability to listen. Amr bin As, he mentioned that, it is in a hadith, Amr bin As, he went to the Prophet ﷺ and he asked the Prophet ﷺ, who is the most beloved to you? And he thought that it was going to be him. He thought that he was the most beloved of the Prophet ﷺ. But the Prophet ﷺ, of course, he would tell the truth. And he said, Aisha. Of course it's Aisha, because Aisha is his wife. Min al-rijal, from amongst the men. Who? Abuha, her father. And it's like, okay, of course. It's Abu Bakr. It's her father-in-law. Or it's her father. And so he asked again. And then who after that? Omar. And then who after that? Uthman. And he just said, I wish that I had never asked, because it was never going to get to him. I mean, of course, Umar, Abu Bakr, these were the people who first accepted Islam, compared to Amr bin As, who was way later. But why, we have to understand the context. Why would he even feel that he had a chance? And it was because the Prophet ﷺ, out of his character, out of his akhlaq, out of his adab, he would give his full attention to Amr bin As. He would have this presence in everything that he did. And we have this concept in the West of something like mindfulness, of guided meditation. The West think that they have figured it out, to be in the present moment. But the reality is, Islam has figured that out from a long time in the past. What is mindfulness? It's essentially dhikr. And we take it a step further. We're not just being present in the present moment, but we're remembering our Creator and our Rabb. And when you are mindful, a lot of athletes, they're told to do mindfulness so that they could get into the zone. And the zone is where they're in the free flow state. They could dunk. They could, all of their shots go into the top bins, into the goal. These are when inventors have their light bulb moment, is when they're in the zone. In Islam, The zone is literally khushu. When you have entered khushu, that's when you are in the zone. When it's just you and your creator. When it's just you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In your moments of sujood, in your moments when you're making dua. And so tonight, alhamdulillah, could very well possibly be the night of power, Laylatul Qadr. And for tonight and throughout the rest of Ramadan, I encourage first myself and all of us to whatever it is that we are doing it in the present moment. Because when we do things, when we are in the present moment, we can enter the zone, we can enter khushu. We are not rushing and thinking about everything else. So, billahi tawfiq wal hidayah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us amongst those who are the forgiven on this night. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us amongst those who are the winners of Laylatul Qadr.